My name is Ethan Carlson. I live in Lugarno and I've got haemophilia.
So Ethan was the first grandson. It was much awaited, and he was like this huge 9-pound baby.
It was very emotional and all the dramas that went through, and then when he came, he was just so special. Such a cute little boy.
We took him to St George Hospital. They ran some tests over a couple of days, and the doctors told us that he had been diagnosed with severe haemophilia A. So when we have a tear in our vein or something along those lines, which you do every day, our body clots the blood and we never know. But he doesn't. So if he has a bleed in a joint or a muscle, it just keeps bleeding and bleeding and becomes more swollen to the point where it's extreme. It's excruciating.
I think it was a lot worse when I was a kid. It's because there were more operations and stuff, and there was more, because I was, obviously growing, there was more problems that happened, with bleeding and stuff. Because my veins were too small to put needles in, obviously. You need, a portacath thing. And then they kept on getting infections and stuff, so there ended up being, 6 operations up until I was 10 years old. When I was a kid, I didn't tell anyone that I had haemophilia. I wasn't really, except for really close friends. I was more embarrassed about it because of the bump on, there were big bumps on me that were for where the needles go in. I don't know why. It's not really something to be embarrassed about, but as a kid I was.
To raise him is really when you first find out, you're on edge all the time, all the time, and you don't notice it.
When I was in and out of hospital, obviously my dad had to stop work completely, and my mum was working full time at the moment, so that would have been pretty hard as well. And when I went off the portacath, my dad had to learn how to put the needles into me, so that and so he'd have to take me back and forth from the hospital.
He has to have an intravenous injection every second day. The medical cost for each of those injections is around about $2,500, and we're really grateful that we live in a country that provides the level of care that Australia does. It's a basic human right to share the wealth of the country, to take care of its citizens. And when you start to introduce measures of privatisation, it immediately becomes a tiered system for those who can pay and those who can't. And as soon as you get that, there are people who are disadvantaged. I'm really proud of him, and he's got a great life ahead of him. He has great prospects, and that's all because when he was a tiny little boy of 10 months old, the Medicare system kicked in and made sure that he had every opportunity that he could. And we're very grateful.